Hello and welcome to our presentation of the Stations of the Cross. Today we remember the most solemn time of the Christian year, when Jesus died so that all of humanity could be saved. Please watch and listen as we tell this story. We will be observing a few moments of silence after the 12th station, and we ask you to pray silently to yourself at this time.
Jesus is commanded to die. Look at Jesus. Jesus is standing before angry people who are yelling and saying mean, hurtful things to him. They scream at him. Some of them tell lies about him, saying that he did bad things, but Jesus stays quiet, even though he knows that he will be hurt. He knows that God is with him. He even asks God to help him forgive the people who are yelling and telling lies about him.
We adore you and we praise you. We adore you and we praise you.
Jesus carries the cross. Look at Jesus. When the soldiers put a big heavy cross on Jesus' shoulders, Jesus did not fight with them or say angry words to them. He knew that he had to carry this cross a long way, and he knew that that way will be very hard for him at times.
But Jesus knows that God is with him, and he asks God to help him carry this cross, even though it is heavy.
We adore you and we praise you. We adore you and we praise you.
Jesus falls the first time. Look at Jesus. Jesus is so tired as he walks along the road with the heavy cross on his shoulders. The cross keeps pushing into his shoulders, and the stones in the road hurt his feet. People yell and push him. The soldiers shout for him to move faster. Then Jesus falls, and the soldiers yell at him more. How tired Jesus is. Jesus prays in his heart, God, help. We remember that you are here.
We adore you and we praise you. We adore you and we praise you.
As Jesus walks slowly with the cross on his shoulders, a woman comes up to him. It's Jesus' mother, Mary. How sad for them to see each other now. Mary feels so sad because she sees how much he is suffering and sees the sadness Mary feels. Even though they both know that God is with them, they can't even say anything to each other because they are so sad.
By your holy cross, you have redeemed the world. By your holy cross, you have redeemed the world.
Look at Jesus. Jesus is so tired that the soldiers know he cannot carry the heavy cross by himself. So they look around and see someone who looks strong enough to help Jesus carry this cross. This person's name is Simon. Jesus just looks at Simon and quietly whispers, "Thank you," to Simon. Then they continue on the long road carrying the cross together.
We adore by your holy cross, you have redeemed the world. We adore by your holy cross, you have redeemed the world.
Veronika wipes Jesus' face. Look at Jesus. Jesus is hot, tired, and sweating. His hair is all tangled, and he is covered in dust from the long walk. Suddenly, a woman pushes her way out of the crowd and stands in front of Jesus. She takes a clean cloth and gently wipes Jesus' face. Jesus is so thankful that he leaves a picture of his face on her cloth.
By your holy cross, you have redeemed the world. By your holy cross, you have redeemed the world.
Jesus falls the second time. Look at Jesus, how very tired, weak, and sad Jesus is now. Even though he keeps trying to walk with the heavy cross, he just can't keep going. The noise from the crowd and from the soldiers make him feel even worse. Then Jesus falls because he just can't take another step.
We adore your holy cross, and you have redeemed the world. We adore your holy cross, and we have redeemed the world.
Look at Jesus. After Jesus gets up, he continues on the road carrying his heavy cross. He passes some women who are crying because they are so sad to see Jesus suffering. But instead of thinking only of himself and how bad he feels, Jesus tells the women not to keep crying because of him. He tells them instead to take care of others and especially to take care of their children.
Oh Christ, oh Christ, oh Christ, oh Christ.
Jesus falls the third time. Look at Jesus. Jesus is so tired now that he can hardly take another step. It is hard for him to breathe. He has been walking a long time along the dusty road, and he has no energy left. He just can't go on anymore. Then, Jesus falls down in the street for the third time. He is so very tired. Jesus asks God to help him, and Jesus gets up again, even though it is hard for him to do.
Oh Christ, oh Christ, oh Christ, oh Christ.
Jesus is stripped. Look at Jesus. Finally, Jesus reaches the hill that is the end of the road he has to walk. Jesus knows that he will die here, but before he dies, the soldiers will do more to him. They pull off his long robe, and almost all the clothes are taken from him. Jesus stands in front of the crowd with only a small piece of cloth covering part of his body. Jesus asks God to help him remember that he is not alone. That God is with him through all this.
We adore your holy cross, and we have redeemed the world. We adore your holy cross, and we have redeemed the world.
Jesus is nailed to the cross. Look at Jesus. How much Jesus hurts as the soldiers nail him to the cross. He hurts all over, and he is tired and thirsty. He knows that he's going to die, but he looks at the people who have hurt him, and instead of saying bad things, he asks God to forgive them. He looks at his mother and tells her to take care of others. Even when Jesus is dying, he is always thinking of other people.
We adore your holy cross, and we have redeemed the world. We adore your holy cross, and we have redeemed the world.
nailed to the cross and suffering on the cross, Jesus bows his head and dies. Now this part of his life is over. There is nothing left for Jesus to give or to do. Jesus has given his life for all of us.
Look at Jesus. Jesus is taken down from the cross. Now Jesus' lifeless body is taken down from the cross. No more pain or suffering for Jesus. All the pain is over. Mary, Jesus' mother, holds him tenderly in her arms. How sad is she? And how sad is Jesus' friends are. They are crying as they hold his body.
Look at Jesus. Jesus' friends wash his body and wrap it in a clean sheet. They touch his body gently, and then they put his body into a tomb. When they are finished, they roll a very large stone over the entrance so that no one can get inside. Now there is darkness in the tomb where Jesus' body lies, and all of his friends go home because they are very sad and tired.